I'm so glad to see you. We're here again for another companion hike. In 1948, a plane crashed at the back of that mountain. That mountain is called Irish Law, and you and I, are going to hike up that mountain and round to the back, and we're going to see that plane crash site because it's still there. And now don't worry, it's not a morbid thing. Everyone survived. But after all these years, the wreckage is still there. And we're going to go and see it. At the end of our time together, I'll show you the hike and exactly everything you need to know to come and do it yourself. We're going to have some chats because we need an absence of drama in our life. You know, we need an absence of influencing and trying to sell shite. So just come with me. We're going to find our way over there and just spend some time together. My name is Paul McIntyre, the Tartan Hiker. Now let's go. Now I've been here before quite a few times, not for a lot of years actually. I think it was 2020 the last time I was here. So the first effort here is finding our way to the hill, because this is in an area called Clyde Muirshiel, which isn't a very popular area for hiking, which sounds mad because, you know, look all around me, and this goes on and on for miles and miles, but the hills aren't very accessible. There's long walks in on rough grass like this, and well, they're grassy hills. There's no fancy big, you know, rocky ones like people might go after up in Arica and further north into the Highlands. This is on the absolute west coast of Scotland. When we get up there, if the visibility's good, and it should be, you'll be able to see the Isle of Arran, which is the place where my adventure life began. And I'll tell you about that then. So if you don't know what these hikes are about, it's companionship. It's you're there for me on these hikes because I go alone as I deal with life, you know, as everyone does, and you need to get away. I'm a very experienced hiker. I've been doing it for decades. It's actually my job. I'll get to that in a wee minute, but yeah, I'm not going to just tell you all about the history of the place and I'm going to go here and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. No, I'm just going to chat with you what's on my mind as I share the things here. Now we can actually see the place I've chosen to make my descent and then ascent to this mountain, which again is called Irish Law, which is a really strange name for a mountain. It's not a very high one. I don't know how high it is. I'll put it on the screen, it's this high. But the place I've chosen to go down is in between these trees, these young trees that have just been parked here. They weren't there last time I was here. I used to go further down. But the place I've chosen, you can see here, there's actually tracks where someone else has came this way as well. So someone else had the same idea as the Tartan Hiker, or the Tartan Hiker had the same idea as someone else. So I'm going to follow this because the grass has been stamped down. Gear wise, I'm wearing full boots. I almost always wear full boots. And so these boots are Aku Conero. If anyone cares what the boots are called, these are Aku Conero. The trousers are Quick. I don't know how you say that. It's from Decathlon. They were cheap. Trousers don't have to be expensive, let me tell you. This top is from Decathlon as well. $13.99, don't mind saying. I think the trousers were like 30 quid, I think. The trousers I had before this were Patagonia ones, which were which were awesome, but I got overweight and skinny and overweight and skinny, and the buckle thing in the middle just couldn't handle it anymore, and it couldn't handle being repaired anymore, so I had to retire them. Right, there's a wee bit of water down here, but I don't want to follow it too closely. But we can see all this green here, all this greenery. That's so blue and green and luscious and healthy. Let me show you close up. It's like that because this burn's going through it and it's supplying it, but as you can see here, this stuff isn't as well fed. So it'll be safe to bet that that's going to be drier, so I'll go through this bit. Gear wise, again, this wee bum bag, or fanny pack as the Americans call it. Oh, that's a Patagonia one. I use that to keep my phone and my keys in, because it's never a good idea to keep your keys in your backpack in case you lose it. Right, I'm going to go over here. You know what, I really struggled getting out the door today, and I don't mind telling you, can I be honest, I've been feeling kind of down the past few days. And it's been out of nowhere. I'm someone who suffers with my mental health and has quite a lot in the past, and I've seen a therapist and have the diagnosis of ADHD and autism and that, but I'm not getting into that, anxiety and stuff, but it's been really good for months, really good. And you know when you think it's all behind you, but all of a sudden these past few days I've felt that black cloud, man, and I don't know why. But I'm going to be totally honest with you. See, the second I switched the camera on and welcomed you on this hike with me, man, I felt better. I feel better. That's the thing with the content I'm making. I don't just want to give companionship to people who are watching me, but I also want to give companionship to myself. Because the more of these I make, the better I feel. So thanks for being here with me. Now, if this is your first time watching me, I think this is my 4th proper long form video since committing to long form. These videos it's one take, there's no editing, it's just me and you as it is, raw. And they're going to be long videos, because I don't want to edit anything out. I just want it to be what it is. I'm not just sharing the highlights or the lowlights. And I'll be in Scotland before you. Aye, yon bonny banks, yon bonny brains. Anyway. So here, well, actually one thing I think I may be feeling a bit lousy about. I'm really missing my dog lately. You were just saying that. She passed away, in October last year, and there was the grieving process, and and you feel alright, but for some reason these past couple of weeks, I've just really been thinking about her. And she was my everything, man, and I'm doing this alone now because I used to do it with her. And I miss her terribly. Here actually was the site of her retirement. I think it was 2020 or 2021, I can't remember. I'll share the picture I took with her on that day. So actually, I'll put the picture, see here. I remember when I saw that picture afterwards thinking, I look back at that when she's gone and really miss her. And I do, man, I do. And this is where her final mountain was. So we were all about Scotland and everywhere, man. And we were coming down, you can see the wee Bealach there. Bealach means like basically an area that connects two hills. Bealach, I don't know what you call it in English. But anyway, whatever. We were going up there, coming down after going to see the wreckage, and she was so excited. She was 8 years old at the time, and she came running down so fast, and she like must have went through a dip, and she'd done a forward like double somersault and landed on her hip, and you know her legs went. They just started to kind of fail her a bit, just a bit, and I think she fractured her hip or something on that fall here, and I was already thinking, I think I'm going to have to calm things down with her, and it was right up there where she had that accident which ended her big hiking career. Well, I didn't expect to be upset. But grief's a weird thing, you know. It's like, why does it come back? Like, when you think you're fine. Like when my mum passed away, I thought it was alright after like a week, and it wasn't until 9 years later that I broke down and realised she was gone. I don't know why it took so bloody long, but oh, it's an emotional sight. It was the beginning of my dog's downfall, and but it's good to get it out. There's no point hiding from pain, because it's always there. If you hide it, it'll just bloody fester and come for you. She used to love, because she was a boxer, as you can probably see from the pictures that I've hopefully shared. And there's a wee river, burn rather. Burn is like a wee tiny river. Stream, you may call it. And she used to love getting to that because it meant chasing a ball in it and cooling down. Oh. Right, we've came to a wee hill here. What I love about these bits is you can see, hopefully it shows on camera, see the V where water is just carved its way down the hill. I love that, and I always think, how long did that take, man? How long did that take to carve out a hill? And up here on this hill, I don't know what it's called, I'll put it here, put it in, and I think I have pictures of me up there. Possibly went up there with my wife was with me. There's a huge cairn up there, burial cairn. A cairn is when people who passed away back in the day in Scotland, they would cover you in stones, and that was a cairn. Okay, I'll try and get down here without falling on my arse. Let's see what we can do. But it's not a tricky one to get down, it's just when you're holding a camera. I never brought a handkerchief. So, excuse me, I'm going to turn this around while I exhale my nose. And don't worry, I'll mute the audio. there, and hopefully my beard is clear. My beard is a new thing. It's I had a big moustache for a couple of years and I got rid of it recently. Well, 3 months ago. And I've been growing the beard for a few months and I like it. Probably going to go twice the length of this and then leave it at that. I don't want a big giant beard. That's just kind of, I don't want a pure thing. I don't want to be the guy with a giant beard, you know, because I was always the guy with a giant moustache. Oh, there we go. And if I sound out of breath, well, despite the hiking through this rough terrain, I'm not actually that unfit. It's just because I'm talking to you so much and trying to exercise at the same time. We're coming to this wee burn now. There's a nice wee stream up there. I'll take you up there to see that. I wouldn't normally go that far up before tackling the mountain itself, but I'm a nice guy. You know, I want to show you. It's just the kind of guy the Tartan Hiker is. Now these hills are, like I said, they're not that popular. Which is crazy. Well, I say crazy. I've not been up here hiking in about 4 years, so I'm one of the ones making it not so popular. People wanting an easy hike tend to go to the Kilpatrick Hills, where we were last week. Remember when we went to Finn Loch, which I kept calling Lily Loch? That was a great one. I really liked that. I loved having you there for that. And it's, if you haven't seen that one, it's here, make sure you go check it out because that was a really good one. Here we are at the wee burn. I'm going to walk along it. I've been learning as I've been hiking and filming. Learning how to do it well. Learning from my mistakes. So if you're someone who's watched all my videos or a couple, and I was about to talk myself down there, I was about to say, well, what are you thinking of watching this nonsense? But you know what, I really enjoy making these videos and it's kind of a therapy for me as well. Here's our first wee bit of water, Marushkaba, as they say in Gaelic. My wee Doug used to love going in here. Doug is dog in Scottish. I'm going to jump over here. Sure I could hear voices, but it's always like that near flowing water. I think you can hear someone talking. Now look at this. I love this because it's perfectly deep for just dipping yourself in without having to swim on a nice hot day. But the problem in Scotland on a nice hot day is there's just beasties everywhere, man. So, and I've learned from making this mistake far too many times, if you take your top off and go into water, you're going to get bitten by clegs or midges or something. Don't tend to get too many midges here on the west coast, but okay, actually I take it back. I said I was going to take you along to that one. There's like a wee waterfall thing over there, but I can't be arsed. Oh no, actually, you know what, I will, because I said I would. Just makes the next part a bit harder, but whatever. What? Oi! My glasses are away. Really tried to not wear my glasses today, because I don't like talking to you with glasses on. You kind of see my beautiful blue eyes, you know what I mean? Hey, we're 2 kilometres in. I just, the last few weeks, switched to using kilometres. I always used miles. Just as I got on, I just realised how stupid it is, man, using miles. As a marathon runner and a hiker, everything's in kilometres. Like, kilometres makes so much more sense. You know, I'd run a 10k, but time it in miles per minute, and it's just silly. So I transitioned to kilometres. I'm still getting used to it. Well, I'll get there. I had that feeling of, you know, the blues coming back after being away. You wonder, what's the recipe? What's the secret sauce that makes me feel like that, which makes anyone feel like that after feeling good? Well, there's obviously still a bit of grief in there for losing my wee dog. I'm also dieting, which never really helps you feel fantastic, but you got to just go on. When I was diagnosed with whatever, I tried the medication for a wee while, but it wasn't for me. I took the ADHD medication, and I realised my ADHD is what makes me who I am. I took it and it made it go away. It's called Elvance medication. It made my symptoms go away pretty much, but my creativity also went with it. The things that just make me just went away. So after only a few months of trying it, I said no thanks. This wasn't even that, it was a couple of months. So there we are, here's what I came to show you. See that? There's this wee bath here. There's a wee bath up the top, I'll show you as well. Whew. Nice, isn't it? Hopefully I'm framing that okay with you, for you. So there's the downstairs shower and bath. And here is the upstairs. You can go places that I can't go. That isn't even a song, but it should be. Isn't means isn't in Scottish, by the way. So aye, this is what I wanted to show you. I know you've seen it. Well, that's that. Let's head up. I'll clean the lens. Excuse me. Because I am the world's cleverest man, I touched the lens. And my hands are covered in, what do you call it, sunscreen, so now the lens is. It's another thing I've learned. I have to bring a wee wipe. The time is 12 PM exactly. Do you call 12 in the afternoon PM or AM? It's PM, isn't it? Anyway. And this place used to be totally desolate. There was no trees like the tree plantations I showed you. Then someone bought the land, it seems, and all sorts of stuff started happening. Access was improved. The logging roads, or driving roads, because people who live, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a house up on the hill there. It's up there, which was made. And it's definitely been for the best. Here's some cotton. Beautiful cotton fields. For you. Maybe I can clean the screen with that. So if there's a big blob on the screen, I apologise. When I think of things that make me feel rubbish, aside from missing my dear wee Lola, I think it's decisions I've made of late. Because, you know, and I'm sorry to go over this if you've watched my other videos and heard me talk about this before. But I used to be a full-time content creator, making short form. And I'll dance over this, don't worry. I'll go over it quickly. And I absolutely hated short form, hated social media, because I never used it before that. I started that in July 1st, 2024. And I, you know, very quickly took off. Brand deals, making money and such. And then I got out because I just hated it. I got out exactly a year later. And I came back after 6 months thinking all I needed was a rest. So I came back, things started taking off again. That's now. But I don't know why I came back and done the exact same thing, you know. See, what is it all about? When you make the same bloody mistake twice, you realise something doesn't work. So, you know what, I'm going to do it again. Idiot. All I want is to make these videos. This was the initial goal of the Tartan Hiker 2 years ago, or almost 2 years ago. And I've been making videos on YouTube for, well, I think the first one I posted was in 2010 or 2009 maybe. Here's the state of me back then. When I rewatch old videos of myself, like, actually I'm getting on a tangent. What I was talking about is things making me sad in relation to be a content creator. Instagram just depresses me, man. I can't stand how horrible people are to each other. I can't stand the armchair experts who are just so confidently wrong. I can't stand having to make endless content for which you don't get paid for. I mean, yes, you can get paid in other ways, but I just said, oh, I've had enough. I haven't posted short form in a few weeks and I'm just fully committing to this, but that's where my kind of sadness comes in. Maybe it's stress, anxiety, probably anxiety, because I'm back at the start, you know. I'm unproven in long form with the Tartan Hiker. I've done alright with other channels, alright. Had some viral content on my old channel back when going viral wasn't as easy as it is now. Because that's the thing on Instagram, I figured out, and TikTok, I figured out how to go viral easily. Really easily. And when I did, I didn't like it. Because the way to go viral is through having something slightly controversial or something that's like people might disagree with, and some people will agree. Some people agree, some people disagree. And it's just giving people free entertainment, and no one buys into you in short form. I just want a few people here to come with me on a hike and talk about things. It's not even about a hike, it's about spending the time here in amongst the mountains of Clyde Muirshiel. But I think I'm just a bit anxiety ridden of being back at the start again, and I decided to go all in, and I quit my job as an adventure coach, which I've done for years. It's like a personal trainer but for adventure. And just go all in on making content. Just go all in on making companionship hiking content where I could just enjoy spending time with you here. Now, I know if you're watching this and it's got like 10 views, you'll be thinking, oh my goodness, you gave up your career for this. And you may be right. But I'm an all or nothing kind of guy. I've got savings to last a good while, because I've always kept my costs low, no matter how much I earned. And my bills aren't, my bills are quite low. I've got enough to last. But yeah, and I see other people my age, I'm 42, making tons of money, and I don't want to make tons of money. I'd love for this to pay my bills. That's all. I'd just love to be able to switch a camera on and be someone in someone's life that can help them out. That's why I'm making companionship content. Because I never had anyone there for me when I was younger. I never had a father figure, a big brother figure, an uncle figure even. And what I love for when I made short form is when young men and women would get in touch and say they saw me as like a big brother type or whatever. I mean, that's what I want. I want to not even inspire people to do this themselves, because a lot of people don't want to, or they don't have the ability to. I get that. If I could just inspire a few folk, don't need to be younger than me, of course not. If I could inspire a few folk to just want to, believe in themselves and know that they don't suck. Because I've spent my whole life telling myself I suck. I really have, man. And it's really confusing when you think about what your mind does to yourself. But why? I always wonder, why does my mind say these horrible things to me? Why does my mind take me apart and tell me all these horrible things I don't want to hear? Why does it give me the worst case scenarios? Why does it start arguments with people in my head, and then I see these people and I feel like I've pre-argued with them, and I feel like I don't like them because of stupid things, scenarios I've created in my head. Why do you do this, brain? And it's bizarre. Aye, it's learned behaviour. Excuse me, nose evacuation. Aye, it's learned behaviour. I grew up with a dad who was an alcoholic, and saw that was more important than us. Mistreated my mother, and I'm not going to get into it too much, but mistreated me and my brother as well. And it seemed to be, he seemed to hate me, and still does, I think. It seemed like the more successes I got in life, the more he resented me. I'm out of nowhere, I'm taller than everyone in my family. 6'1". I have all my hair. He was bald in his 20s. I was a big strapping lad. He was getting older and getting struck down by major illnesses due to his alcoholism, drug use, etc. I just wanted them to be proud of me and whatever, and it was confusing because there were moments of that. Don't get me wrong, I think that's what confuses a kid most. When you have a handful of fantastic moments, but a handful of horrendous moments of mistreatment and things I'm not going to go into, but I got made fun of in school for not having decent clothes and not having any money, and well, to be honest, it made me who I am. Christmas and my birthday were so important to me. It was the only time of year we got stuff, and I think, when you have a life of not having a lot as a kid, and you get used to it, it can be valuable as an adult, and I think it is now. I had a wee period when I first started getting money when I was, student loans and working in bars. I got my first overdraft and whatever, where I, probably the first 10 years of having money, between 16 and 26, 27, I ran up a bunch of debt and kept buying stuff. And then I got my act together, and I'm quite the opposite now. The only stuff I buy are experiences, hiking gear when I need it, but I don't buy fancy stuff, camera gear if I need it. The odd treat. But it makes you appreciate things, when you never grew up with a lot of stuff. But I forgive him, because it harms me more to harbour resentment. And I look after him now. I'm his carer now. And my mum passed away like 11 years ago, as I said. She passed away, and but before she did, she was always kind of a bit resentful of the fact that I looked after him, because he's been unwell for a long time, and to be honest, he's pretty bloody useless. So I always had to be the one doing things. My brother chips in as well, but I mean, it was mostly me. I don't say that in any detrimental way to my brother, but he had no time for him. And although my dad mistreated me, I did have those moments, but my little brother was really disregarded by my dad. But anyway, I forget why I was talking about that. I was talking about why feeling sad, and being back at the start of another new career, another new journey. It's exciting as well. But in my nearly 20-year pursuit of finally trying to become a YouTuber, I've realised that this is the only type of video I can make. And before I deleted them, when I was a content creator before, this is the type of videos that it was as well. Oh, not as long. This is what I always wanted to do, and it was all I wanted to, it's all I can do. I've tried loads of different things, and all I'm happy, truly happy doing is turning the camera on and speaking to you, being a companion for folk, having folk be a companion for me when out hiking. And I'm going to travel Scotland and show you places, and like now I'm going to show you this plane wreck. It's all I can do is, I mean that as in my brain capacity. I know myself. I can't spend days, weeks trying to edit and make fancy snap cut YouTube videos. I just can't do it. I don't want to do it. I've done it before and it makes me feel absolutely lousy. If there's one thing I've always been frightfully good at, rapidly good at, it's being myself. It's perhaps because I'm a fully diagnosed autistic fella, perhaps, I don't know, but I cannot fake who I am. I cannot be dishonest, I cannot bullshit. I think that's maybe why it could work out as an influencer, because I couldn't sell crap to people. I sell my book, you know, where is it? Where am I? Where am I being framed? Yeah, I sell my book. This is my book, Found Outside, How to Create a Life of Adventure. So I was happy to try and to pitch that to folk, because I think it can really help, and it's helped thousands of people. But I say no to tens of thousands of pounds worth of brand deals because I couldn't do it. I couldn't sell stuff they didn't need. Like when Arc'teryx wanted to work with me, I couldn't try and have someone buy a £200 pair of trousers, you know, or a £100 t-shirt, 50, 60 quid hat, because I know you don't need it. Some people like it and that's fine, but it's no me. You see over there, that's the ocean, that's the Atlantic on the west coast, and the mountains, if you could see them in the distance, that is the Isle of Arran. The spiciest mountain in there being Goat Fella. But so just turning the camera on and being myself, that's all I can do. And I found myself early on as in short form, what worked was, would you not try to be really Scottish and wearing a kilt and having a big moustache? Hello, I'm the Tartan Hiker. And I would, you know, I'd have fun and it was an extension of who I was, but that's what social media does to you. It moulds you into the character it wants you to be, because if you don't, you won't succeed. And so, when I switch the camera on to do this, it's just me being me, you know? Just you and me here. I'm heading up to the summit of Irish Law now. There's a trig point, which is always nice. Because I've got to admit, well, if you don't know what a trig point is, it's a little concrete pillar that was used up until the 60s to map out the United Kingdom. There are like 6,500 of them. They're not used anymore. They're made by Ordnance Survey, which was an epic undertaking, by the way, to climb. They're not all on mountains, some of them are on flat places, but an epic undertaking to haul all that concrete stuff up so many mountains, 6,500, mostly high places. One of the few brand deals I did do when I was a short form creator was with Ordnance Survey, because they're a company that's been about since 1700, and I of course used them for their maps. And so I did a wee campaign with them, talking about personalised maps, where you could get a map made of anywhere you want. This isn't a picture, by the way, that's deal's long gone. You get your picture in front of the map. Here's the ones I got, and it's actually really cool, and I had bought one before, so it was a perfect collaboration. No slow break. I really must bring a hanky next time. Hanky is Scottish for handkerchief. See the rocky top up here? Over here too. We've got some crows up here. Scottish for crows. Got some crows up here going absolutely after nut. I don't think they like me being here. Oh, there's two of them. I like crows. I've always wanted to have an army of crows, man. That would be so cool. There's a woman near mine this older lady, the crows come to hers every day. She feeds them. They're just always hanging about, and you know, they bring you gifts and such, like, I don't know, wee bits of silver, shiny stones. I just love that, man. An army of crows. It would be murder. If you get that, you're making a person. It was down here that Lola was running and done her double flip that ended her career. The poor wee girl. Alright, we're into a proper climb now. You see the pitch on that? Try and zigzag up it. If you're going up a hill that's really steep, you don't be stupid and go right up it. You zigzag your way up it to reduce the burden on your thighs. I mean, it increases the distance, but it's about saving as much energy as you can. I'm expending a lot of energy holding this camera and tripod up, I don't mind telling you. You want to see what it looks like? Right. I'll take a picture and I'll share it on the screen. I shall take a video. So, this is what it looks like, what I'm carrying. We've got the charging pack here, our wee Amazon Basics tripod on the DJI Action extendable tripod, and I've got DJI Action 4 here. So that is what I have, and I walk about and talk to it like this. Hello! See ya. Talk about hating myself. Isn't it, like we say, isn't it just so bizarre why we do it to ourselves? I mean, you'd think you'd be on your own side, wouldn't you? Like, you know what, I'm going to really talk this guy up because this guy is me. But no. Actually, I think I'll see the worst things possible to him. Like me, do you want to know? Let me tell you everything. Actually, wait a sec. I'm going to put this tripod down so I can show you, right? So get in the sun. Right. When I think of the things that it says to me, this mind of mine, I've always hated my teeth. When I grew up really poor, as I say, in a council estate, and we were really too poor to bathe all the time. We could only really have a joint family bath once a week. And my mum never told me to brush my teeth. So my teeth got all decayed and manky, and by the time I started looking after them, it was a lot of damage was done. And my front teeth, and this is really embarrassing for me because I think I really feel bad about my parents. So I'm going to just outpour the things I don't like about myself and the things my head says to me, alright? Yeah, so these two front teeth, when I was 8 years old, I broke them playing football. My second day after moving to a new school, smashed them to bits, and I got really bad crowns or veneers, whatever you call them, put on top of them. They didn't get put on until I was 15, so I had no front teeth until I was 15, which really bode me well, as you can imagine. The teeth down here, which I kind of went in and out, my dentist didn't give me braces for some reason, I don't know. My dentist was really resentful to me because it was obvious I didn't brush my teeth. Which, okay, I understand it, but I'm a wee boy and this, you know, I'm not here to talk about that, but... So he wouldn't do anything for me, and I think that's why he didn't put the crowns in as well. But I'll never forget when I finally got them put in, and I went to my dad's mum, who could be a bit of a piece of work sometimes, and I excitedly went to show her my new front teeth, and she looked and she was clearly disappointed. She went, and what are you going to do about those ones? I went, what ones? Pointing to these horrible ones. She said, you've got one in, one out, one in, one out. I remember I was just so devastated. Like, how could she have said such a thing to me? And that night, I remember my dad came home from the pub drunk as always, and I went out to show him. I didn't want to ever see him when he was drunk, but he forced us to come and greet him as if we were delighted he was home whenever he came home. So I went out and he looked as well and was like, I remember to go up to show him, like feigning this excitement, and he was all, give me a minute, give me a minute. He looked, alright. Obviously disappointed, just devastating me. But yeah, I don't like them. I don't like my eyes, like the wrinkles around here. It's a family trait people get. I've never liked my belly. All my fat goes to my belly, you know. I've been losing weight recently because I put a lot of weight on. I put like 30 odd pounds on, and I'm about 12 pounds down or something. But I've never liked it, man. It always goes straight to here. What else don't I like about myself? Well, that's the main physical things I think about, you know. But it's just, well, it's like we're talking about earlier, isn't it? It's just, does every bloody problem go back to everyone's dad in childhood? Certainly to childhood, isn't it? And what's confusing is despite that, I had an amazing childhood with no money or nothing. But I just came out and went adventures. That was free. I read books from the library because they were free. I borrowed video games from the library. They weren't free, they were like 20 pence each or something. Commodore 64 games. Sometimes I'd get games loaned by friends or whatever, but I'd go out and play football, all stuff that was free. So I guess I made the best of it, because we never had anything. But I have amazing memories, so you could argue that, well, what's the problem then, if you have such fond memories? And that's where it gets confusing. It really does. But it feels good to share things like that. It does. Thank you for listening. 57 minutes in. Another thing about my content, it's never going to be short, because I want to share the realities of things. I just want to share what I'm doing. I want us to have this time. Wee sheep down there, and the Atlantic's becoming very obvious now. That's, again, the Isle of Arran. And to the islands in front of that. What is this one? This is Cumbria, I believe. Oh, that one. Mull, I think. Is it? Mull and Little Cumbria, I think. I'm not sure. Or it's maybe Cumbria. The two Cumbries, that's what it'll be. It's no Mull. I'm talking rubbish. Mull. That's nowhere near here. Oh my goodness, is this climb ever going to fucking end? Oh, it's one of them. Just hurry up and get me to the top. Oh, I'm going against what I said. Re-zigzagging. I'm sick of this. Okay, I'll zigzag a bit. Just want to get to the top. I forgot to wear hiking socks today, so I've only got stupid gym socks on under my boots, which doesn't help. Oh. You ever climbing a hill and you just can't imagine a time when you're at the top? You're like, no, it's not possible. It goes on forever. Forever. Oh, jeez. Okay. I've zigged. Now I'm zagging. Kind of, it's looking a bit flatter now, but it's this terrain, like our last hike at the Kilpatrick's Baby's Heads, it's just endless lunges. Oh, I think I'll have a rest when I get to the top here. Oh man, or now. A real big week of exercise this week for me. And yesterday I went hiking up Arica from a place called Cruach Tarbert. Didn't go up that mountain, I just hiked through from Arica and Tarbert train station through to Arica itself. A bit of hiking round there and then back. Then it was back up the road. I went for a 32.2 kilometre cycle. I was really pushing it. 32.2 because that's 20 miles. And as I say, I'm transitioning from miles to kilometres. I swear this hill's never going to end. It's never going to end. No. Here's the straight up path. Oh great, a full summit, just what I was after. Now I'm near the top. Oh. Oh, nose clear. Oh. Oh. It's only 3 kilometres. 3 kilometres, man. Always gets you with climbing a hill. You confuse ascent for distance. You know, you'll think, well, I've done a bunch of ascent. I'm absolutely dying. So I must have came really far. No, 3 kilometres. What is that in miles? About 1.8 miles. Oh. And the views are worth it. You might remember, if you watched the last video talking about I had a calf injury. It was really playing up on that hike. I had my physio doing the exercises, and it seems to have gone. I haven't got back to running yet, but this hike's been fine. Yesterday's hike's been fine. Oh, but I forgot to tell you, I broke my toe. My wee toe, the outside toe on my right foot. Here it is, let's do this. Now, as I've broken my big toe before, and they told me they don't treat broken small toes, so I never bothered going to the hospital. And to be honest, it's not that bad. It hurts, aye, but this one I can deal with. I don't think I've ever had a period in my life where I didn't have something hurting. I guess that's what you get for a life of adventure. You know, you're putting your body through stuff. You know, through a life of being a marathon runner and cyclist and climber and all that. Always got some sort of pull. Oi, and that is the brunt of the climbing done. We've broke the back of it, as we see here in Scotland. Like you see over there, like that is one of the reasons why this isn't a very popular place. You see it over there as well. Because it's just endless wee humps of grass hills, all of which look the same, are kind of featureless, and aren't very interesting and have brutal walks into them. So it's a lot of work for not much reward. And I personally haven't been up to many of them just for that very reason. I've never been one for really trying to tick hills off just for the sake of it. I've never been interested in trying to climb all the Monroes or whatever. Done quite a few, I don't know how many. But I kind of grew out of mountains, or the obsession for mountains, excuse me. Because I just find, I just prefer just hiking and seeing things. Well, like this, I wouldn't consider this really a mountain. It's a big hill. So I love the Kilpatrick Hills so much, because you're not spending all your time like doing major navigating. Oh, there's a first spot of the trig. I just like being out walking. Plus there's the danger that goes with the mountains as well. I mean, all the mountains in Scotland aren't that dangerous. They're quite tame. Even the dangerous ones are quite tame. But I like hills. And that's kind of my pace in life as well. I just like to take my time without having to be like, oh, I've got to tag this one, I've got to tag that one. But let's tag this one. Thanks for joining me in this entire way. Booyah! And there we go. There's the view from the top of Irish Law. Welcome to Arran, Atlantic, the Cumbries. I don't know what islands are called. And there's the rest of Clyde Muirshiel over there. A barren wasteland. Right, it's very windy here. And I hope my mic's still with you. I can see, I can predict that it must be sound quite windy to you. Yeah, I'm going to change my top because it's cold. So you can enjoy the view, be protected from the wind. And don't worry, we've still got the plane wreck to check out, of course. Right. Can you still hear me? Oh, one another thing I don't like about myself, my hairline. My hair's getting thinner at the front, at the top. But saying that, yeah, I'm 43 nearly, I'm on 42 and I have most of my hair, so I guess that's something, but I still don't like it. If my hat goes blown away at any point, don't laugh. There we are, that's better. Oh. There's a hell of a breeze. Wind, should I say. We're good to go. Go check out that plane. Oh, that's a hell of a wind. A hell of a wind. Oh, my hat's never going to survive this. When I first discovered this plane wreck, it was by mistake. Not by mistake, it was by chance. Oh, you can imagine You can imagine how amazed I was. It's not too often you by chance discover the wreckage of a crashed airplane. Can be kind of tricky to find, so hopefully I'll get you there first time, first attempt. Seems to be a wee bit of a path here now. There wasn't in the past, but I think people, thanks to social media and what have you, are starting to learn about it, have learned about it. We get a bit more protected from the wind here, so it's not so bad. You know what, I'm hungry, and I've got a roll and hummus and tomato in my bag. If I get somewhere to get out of the wind, I'll have it. I don't like to take up too much of your time with me eating. You know, I started this off, and as you saw, I was feeling pretty rubbish, man, so... But now I don't, now I feel great. And it's just sharing time with you, it really is. Sharing time with Scotland. And it's Monday, as I film this. I'll be honest, I don't like hiking on a Monday. I like to do stuff I need to do on a Monday for the week ahead. And go hiking on I think a Tuesday, a Thursday or Friday are my ideal days. And of course I've no interest in hiking on a Saturday. Or a Sunday if it's busy, you know. Because there's loads of people about. And I'm Scotland's foremost expert at avoiding people on hikes. But there's, I'm trying to be really serious, but I told you there was a huge burial cairn on the hill over there. Well, it's over there. Hopefully you can see it. And I'll take you to it sometime. Oh, the calm. I usually like to do what I have to do on a Monday to prepare for the week. When I discovered that the hill I was talking about with the big cairn on it, I parked down there, further down there, and walked across to it. Just randomly adventuring, not with the goal of getting there, just to see what was there. And my wife was with me, and this was in her early days of hiking, and she was not amused. She was not amused at all. Right, where am I going here? I'm following this wee path, but I'm worried it's taking me away in the opposite direction. But you know what? I'll stick with it. Oh, do I? I've not been here so long. Oh well. I see, here's another path here. See, I think it's over there. I think it's over here. I'm going off the path. Will it prove to be a mistake? Only time will tell. Oh, I hope this is the right decision. I can swear it's over there. I should be able to see it. There's a wee crest of the hill there. When I get up there, I should be able to see the wreckage. Aye, it's been a while, but this should be it. But with feeling crap, shows the power of just sharing it. And me sharing it with you, I feel better about things. And as I was saying it, as I was talking about my teeth and my hairline and my belly and my eyes, I actually felt like I was being kind of ridiculous. I feel like I was, thinking, yeah, for who are you worried that's going to... Like, what reaction am I worried that people are going to give me? I guess I just don't like how it makes me feel. But there's so much I'm thankful for in life, so what does that stupid crap matter? It stinks for the most part. I can do something about it. Should I want to? But where's the line drawn in trying to battle the signs of aging? Because there's only so much you can do. And you'll lose eventually. I'm happy, Who cares if I'm going a bit wrinkly or my teeth are a bit wonky? I'm happy. Now, I think the wreckage is over this hill. I think. Because it was down a dip. I hope it is. Please be. Please be. I think it's down there and up. Aye, I'm pretty sure it's here. Pretty sure it's here. Because, and I'll tell you the whole story about the plane and the wreckage and such. I'll do a, what do you call it? voiceover when we get there. But yeah, the plane crashed here in 1948. It hit Irish Law round the back. It depends where the back is. But I just remember it was down like a wee valley, glen type part. So I'm sure this is it. I'm sure of it. If you see a smashed up plane, then I'm right. And if not, then I've got a long way to go back. I think it's over there. You would think I would have planned this, wouldn't you? But no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I think I've made an ass of it. I don't think it is there. Oh no, 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 it must be, it must be. Oh, crikey. Yes, I really should have planned it. But you know, I didn't decide where I was going to go until I got in the car. But Irish Law's there. It has to be here. Has to be. It's not like I've been here 4 times previously or anything. Absolute nut job. Right. You. Yay! It's here. Here it is. Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness. There's bits of it strewn over the place. And I'll take you to them all. The entire plane isn't here. It's parts of it. Let's go see the first part. Well, I can imagine what it was like for me when I was a youngster, coming up here and discovering it for the first time. I say a youngster, it wasn't that long ago, 10 years ago or something. I suppose 10 years ago is younger than 10 years later. So here's a part. So I believe there were 20 people on board. Everyone survived. 13 were injured, but here we are. I'll just let you look, I won't talk nonsense. There's lots of, this is my favourite thing about this, isn't the wreckage itself, it's the writing people have done on it. We call them mentions here, mentions. And look at this, here's one. Carol Naris, 1972. Jim something, 1977. Oh, look at this one. 1st of June 1968, that's only 20 years after it went down. So I imagine it was in a better condition than this, and there's most of it's up there, so we're going to go up there in a minute. I just want to see this stuff, because I always wonder, like, what are these people doing now? Have they come back to it? And there is actually some up there who they've wrote on it years later, and we'll try and find them. And I don't think it's in any way a bad thing, like it's damaging it or anything. It's just, these things are here. They're eventually going to turn to dust, man. So let's just have some fun with it. So what have we got here? Mental Kilbirnie team. Kilbirnie's a place. Okay, ya mugs. B. Nolte, 1972. Look at this! H. Wilson, September 1957. That's what, 9 years after it went down? Wow. Sergeant R. Sweeney, 24th of June, 1973. Something Sergeant Doherty, also 73, they must have been together. Ian Hewison, 86. D. Stirling, University of Strathclyde, 1974. 1974, B. Moultrie. These are all very much older. But there's one that says 1947. Now, this plane was in operation in 1947, so I think they're talking about their arse there. Unless described on the plane before. But no, it would have been painted and stuff, so I don't know what that's all about. Well, my thoughts are maybe the older Menshees are on this one because people have been over there and no realised that there's more wreckage here. So, not all the wreckage remains. Some of it was taken away. But okay, let's make our way over. And after we go and look at the Menshees. Or now, should we do it now? Aye, okay. Voiceover time. Here's the story of the plane. So it was 21st of April 1948. And this plane, the Vickers VC-1 Viking, was coming down to Renfrew Airport, which was no longer there, when it crashed into, well, this mountain, the Irish Law Mountain. And it's great that no one died. 13 of the 20 passengers were seriously injured, and obviously, as you'll see in a minute, the aircraft was absolutely destroyed beyond repair. It turns out that it was an error, a pilot error. He never received an outer marking beacon signal properly due to a fault in the receiver. So there you are. Here we have, this looks like a wing. Yeah, it's definitely a wing. And that there would be a great wee house for mice or whatever animals. You can see how just decayed it's getting. And it makes you wonder how long it's going to last. Like, how long is it going to be in existence before it totally wears away? If it was in 1948, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, for 70 something years. I don't know, I'm not a maths man. But how long before it just completely disintegrates? Or will it? Will there still always be parts of it? But anyway, we're at the main part now. Now you can see the impact site. It was a controlled landing from over there, and it must have came and bounced all its way up and then just absolutely destroyed itself up here. Wow. Is this the other wing perhaps? And this metal is, oh, it's still relatively strong. You also have to wonder how much of it have people taken away with them as a memento. bit's really chewed up. I mean, look at this, an obvious impact part. The metal has just bent in like pasta. Like lasagna. It's just so amazing that there's just, all the parts are just still here. This is a strange material. It's like concrete. Some sort of motor. Well, obviously the engine, or a engine. You see the effect of corrosion on this. Bits up there. And this is a mighty bit. This is a mighty bit. Might better pretend I know what any of it may be. This bit from memory is the bit that has most of the mentions on it of people, which I like. There we go, look at the size of that. We'll see if we can see any cool old writing. Here we go. Malcolm Latham, Leicester, August 6th, 1963. And here's the same pen, so I assume that's the same, it'll be the same date. Robert Gillespie. Don't know what that says, Largs. Largs is, by the way, Largs is just over there. Behind me, the famous place. Largs is actually the final, let me get this light. Largs is the site of the Battle of Largs, which when the people of the British Isles saw away foreign invaders for the final time. But we were sending them homeward to think again. Final time so far. This was indeed 1963, the same date as that. A lot of 2020s here. And 1969 there. Here's one. Bongo from Largs, 7th of June, 1985. And again, they liked it so much they wrote it again. OG 90, Cooper 25. Now this red stuff, I'm not sure if that's the original colour of the plane or if it's some sort of corrosion, but there's a lot of it around, so perhaps you get a real sense of the shape of the plane from here. Oh, there's a wheel. No way. See that? The wheel is still in a way intact, in a wee, don't know what that is, a wee exit bit. What's this? This 2020. Now there. Mark Woods, 17th of the 2nd, 1983. That's the year I was born. MW Largs, 1985. And there's the big engine thing. Just how terrifying must that have been? Coming crashing down at night here. Oof. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. And I said I'd get my lunch when I find a nice wee area. And I think this is a nice wee area. If you don't mind sharing a bite with me before we wrap it up, I'll make my way back by myself. Can I hear voices? No. Right. I'm getting a wet arse here, but whatever. So can you see me? Aye. Water with electrolytes. I've not sweat much at all, but I've exercised and lost a lot of sweat the last couple of days and not had any electrolytes, so I thought I'd bring some. And now no one wants to hear a man eat. So here's some music, or some over talks, whatever I decided to do. It's been a really emotional day here on Irish Law, and I really have to say that, oh, wait a minute, what's this idiot doing? To bring you back, I just swallowed a whole cherry tomato, a whole. Honestly, anytime I try to look cool, anyway, back to the music. Sorry about him, me. I can just never be cool. But yeah, it was a really emotional day up on Irish Law, and as I do this voiceover a week after I filmed it, I'm happy to say that I feel cleansed and a lot better. As I said at the beginning here, I was really struggling for a few days and I didn't know why. Since then, I've been completely fine. I mean, since the moment I felt really depressed and down with the black clouds rather over me until I started filming, as I said earlier in this film, and I was just cleansed talking to you and going on this wee adventure, because I think what was just trying to get through was some tears over my dearly departed Lola, who I miss so much. And to me it just shows the importance of dealing with things, of dealing with it head on. Because it's when something knocks on the door and you're not feeling right, I find I have to ask why. I just have to discover, okay. Well, I mean, before when I was younger and I would get like this, because I was like this for most of my 20s, and I wouldn't really look for the source. I would look for fixes. I would just try and be like, okay, well, I'm going to be this crazy ultramarathon runner. Okay, I'm going to cycle across countries. I'm going to deplete myself of things I love. I'm going to just be a master of myself. And I tried to run away from the things that were just trying to come through. There was so much knocking at the door, and being an old veteran that I am now of dealing with my health and getting out to the hills, it really helps it. And I just know that when there's that knock at the door, you have to answer it, man. I can tell you from experience that it can make you 10 times worse for a period. It really can. That's what it done when I had a breakdown myself a couple of years ago. And you know, that horrible experience of just completely falling apart after enduring therapy, because I answered all the doors, I opened all those doors, but I felt after we're going through it, you know, when going through hell, keep on going, and that's what I'd done, man. And so I just have to say to anyone who's in the same situation, answer the call. And thanks so much for being here with me, because after today I feel so much better. So there we are. I said I was going to take you up to this wreckage. We're going to come here. And we did. I almost went the wrong way at the end. Almost. But thankfully my intuition kicked in. Intuition, or the fact I've been here 4 times before. But it's been a great hike. I'm always honoured when you stop by to hike with me. And I really hope you'll come again. Details of the hike are coming up, should you want to do it yourself. 101 minutes, eh? I think I feel really kind of cleansed after today, after our chats today. I don't know what it is, man, but it's just talking to you, just turning on that camera and being able to just say what I want and just be myself. It just means a lot, and thanks so much for coming along. Knowing that I'm all in on this now, it's all or nothing, makes me feel, I get scary, but now I'm feeling excited about it after sharing it with you. It's a lot of work to do, and that work is just going out and sharing things in Scotland with you, sharing my silly wee thoughts. Hopefully you'll get something from it. I just remembered I have a seat in here. I'm sitting on my arse on the wet, and I've got, look, I'm not even joking to try and be funny. I brought my blooming chair to sit on to have my lunch. What an absolute banger. Anyway, thank you. Going to head back myself. Better than when I started. I'll see you later.